Well, let me just give you a perspective of what it's actually like in the city. Well, our initial estimates were something like 1.1 or 1.2 million cubic meters of debris around the town. To translate that into something maybe a layman can understand, if you imagine a football field piled 10 meters high with waste, so that's a 3-story building on a football field, times that by 10 football fields, you get some idea of what the scale of the quantity of waste we're dealing with. We estimate we've probably cleared to the dump site about 5% of that. There's probably another 15% in these temporary dumps I was telling you, but that still leaves another 80%. And then you multiply that going down the coast, we've got huge volumes of debris that we need to deal with. And it's going to take us several months to actually deal with this, 3 to 6 months. We'll still be dealing with debris. So it's a long-term program, and we need to actually make sure we give long-term assistance to the affected municipality. So at the barangay level, the village level, where we hire the cash for workers, we are encouraging them to sort through the waste as we clear it. So in essence, anything that can be reused, such as if we start from the bottom, the most hardest stuff, the concrete, we can actually crush that up and use that for road base or for fill material. For the timber, a lot of it's very good timber, it's tropical hardwood. If that's put aside and collected, it can either be used immediately for temporary shelter, or we can put it through carpentry workshops, clean it up, and it cleans up very nicely. It can be used either to go back into shelter programs or as materials to make furniture, repair furniture, that kind of stuff. For the valuable materials in the waste, which could be glass, it could be metal, aluminium cans, that kind of stuff, we encourage the workers, if they can sell it, to collect that themselves, and that gives them a little bit of extra income and a little bit of extra incentive to work harder, because they know if they find this material, it's theirs to sell or theirs to use. And we don't take anything from the community that the community wants to keep. We allow them to keep as much as they want, and if there's left over, then we'll take that away and process it, and if necessary, give it back to them or put it into other programs to help other communities. For these big temporary dumps, there's a lot of, I would estimate probably 20 to 30% of that material is recyclable by volume. That's 20 to 30% less volume of the municipal dump will take up when we transport it there. 20, 30% less fuel we have to use to ship it there. So we will employ actually very big teams of cash for workers, maybe 500 to 1,000 at each of these sites, that as we handle this stuff and load it into the trucks for the long haul to the dump site, we'll employ them to sort through the waste and try and take, again, recover the most of the materials as we can.